Testing. Testing. Okay. Mic is on. Everything is on. We're good. Hi, everyone. Okay. Putting up the mic sensitivity because I feel like it's a little low on my end. But hello. Hi, Cyrus. Hello. Welcome back to the channel. That does remind me, I still need to look into why the 10-minute delay still exists when people follow and are not able to chat. I thought I got rid of that. Apparently, it got rid of it for a bit and it's now back. But oh well, I'll have to look into that. I can't actually look into that during stream though because they stopped you from doing that because stream is happening. But hi, hello, how's everyone doing? Going to Vivapop Hell? I have no idea what Vivapop is. But I will see you when you get back, I guess. That's the way it works. All right. Let's see. We are doing things today. Thank you so much for the follow, Cyrus, as usual. We have things to do this day, but it's honestly I've been struggling to figure out what to do for D&D stuff because while I do want to homebrew, it's also like a part of me wants to do my setting thing, but I'm not honestly not feeling up for it. Part of me wants to do subclasses again, but like I need inspiration for subclasses, and Honkai just isn't doing it. Star Rail just isn't doing it as well. Like it's tough. I feel I need to like step back from subclasses and do something instead of inspired by like Star Rail or any other game stuff. Or maybe I could do Lancer actually. Lancer mechs into D&D subclasses. Not the. It's not so much not the most creative thing. There's like certain things you could do certain things with that, but that requires like, in my opinion, an understanding of the Lancer mechs in order to really do well, and I just don't have it. Like I understand some of the mechs, I don't understand all of them in terms of gameplay and what they bring to the table. So I don't feel comfortable enough doing that yet. Um, yeah. So today is honestly just throwing stuff at the wall and see what sticks because I don't have a concrete plan on what to homebrew. I mean, I have some ideas. I've been recently um, on a small kind of just uh, not detail oriented, lore not quite, setting not quite, just bits and pieces homebrewing like things like what if elves have like a special kind of silk, what if elven silk is a special kind of silk because you know elves and they do things differently, and there's this whole thing of it depending on the lore, like drow because of their association with spiders, again depending on the lore, but there's in Forgotten Realms drow have an association with spiders, and because of that they have tools and equipment that use spider silk, like they have spider silk based armor and stuff. So I thought, what if just the high elves, or maybe even the wood elves. I don't know which. I just know elves have cultivated silkworms or some fey counterpart silkworm to produce a special type of silk that they then use to make clothing that is as tough as armor, and that does also mechanically fit because there is like an armor called like Elven Chainmail, I believe, like Elven Chain, which is supposed to be better than normal chain because there's a +1 bonus, I believe, and uh, you are trained with it even if you lack training with medium or heavy armor or something like that. If it was either that or it was lighter than usual or something. Hold on, I'm looking it up. Um, yeah, it is. It's not lighter. You are considered trained with it even if you lack training with medium or heavy armor. Um, and because it's chainmail and chain shirt, which is both heavy and medium respectively. But anyone can use it basically. Yeah. So it's it's not restrictive. Is the main thing I believe what it's trying to convey. It's still heavy, but it's not as restrictive as normal chain. So I was thinking elven chain, elven silk, elven silk armor, blah blah blah, stuff like that. Um, and I've been doing a bit of like thinking on that side, but uh, I don't know what I should do for D&D today. I have some ideas I've noted down, which is like, hold on, let me drag up my ideas to the bottom of the pits. Where is the ideas thing? Yes, there we go. I could do some subclasses. I have like two subclasses I've been thinking of making for a while, but I haven't really gone into it. We could do weapons or magical items. That kind of stuff can be fun. Or the idea I had like just before starting stream was going through some Pokemon and just making kind of like monster sheets for them, monster stat blocks for them, which would be a good way to get me acquainted back into how to homebrew monsters because um like I'm still getting back into the groove. Like I like trying to get back into the groove of homebrewing using Honkai Star Rail was not helping because Honkai Star Rail just plays by such different rules and I haven't touched Genshin in a long time, so that's not gonna help. Um if anything, Honkai Star Rail just made it harder to get back into the groove of homebrewing because I was fighting to mesh the systems together that didn't work well together. So I thought I'd switch gears and do something else. Um, so doing something like a homebrew subclass that has nothing to do with sort of like established canon of things might be a good way to go about it. So I can get back into homebrewing, but homebrewing based of Pokemon would also help because there's like an established baseline that I have to follow. There's established recipe I have to follow, right? And it's a lot easier that way. I think we could do both actually. There's nothing that says I can't do both. So I think what I want to do currently, what I feel like doing more than anything is the Pokemon one because I already have some ideas on what to do for it. Um, like I'm just gonna like open up the Pokedex. I say Pokedex. I'm just gonna like look up Pokemon. Pokemon D&D 5e stats, and just make some stuff. Um, and then when I don't feel like it, because my mood today is a little not whimsical, wishy washy. That's the word. I think I'm gonna do Pokemon for a bit, and then when I feel like it, I'm gonna pivot to subclasses and so on. Plus, not having like a concrete plan laid down, um, also helps with chat because I feel like chatting a bit more with everyone. Like if you have D&D stories or if you have D&D ideas you want to talk about, you want to throw my way, I'm more than happy to talk about them. Because like one of the few things that is nice about these D&D streams is that I don't have to focus on a game. How much my attention is fixed on like the homebrewing aspect is entirely based on uh like how much attention I want to put to it, and I can pause at any point. And this is why like D&D streams are notorious. Well, our D&D streams are so notorious for just going on tangents. Um, Actually, the Lancer to D&D thing could be a good way to introduce people into Lancer. Yeah, actually, let me note that down. Lancer mech into D and D subclass slash monster. Yeah, it might be a good way of introducing people into the system because I can introduce both the Lancer mech and then drag them into D&D system so that people can kind of see what they look like. Yeah. I am going to pull up the first off. Let's see. Where is the doc? Gonna pull up the document. All right. Let's do this so that everyone has an easier time reading. And then I'm gonna just play music in the back. I'm gonna lower the volume of the music so that it's just there. Uh, doesn't seem to be coming through. Is it not? Oh, okay. It's soft. That's why. There we go. All right. Everything should be working. Oh, the other. There's one more thing not working. What the? Hold on. I had a thing. Oh, okay. Hold on. I had a thing from. There we go. So that the name of the song will be at the bottom, so everyone can, if you find a song you like, you can look at the name. Right. We'll start with Pokemon Homebrewing, like I said, and then if I sometimes I feel like doing something else. Well, I'm really my mood is like just going everywhere today. Um, all right, let's do the other thing first because now I suddenly feel like doing the other thing. So D&D subclass. Whoop. 2025. Haven't done this in a while. One of the homebrews I've been looking to doing for a while is a quick draw. A quick draw subclass. It's basically the samurai thing. The pull out, unsheath your sword, attack, immediately sheath back, and then that one stroke was enough to deal ton of damage. And like that, I've been struggling with how to build that into like a fighter because it's the Ei Jutsu, I believe is the name. And it's a very like positioning, waiting for the right moment thing. Well, I might be wrong, but I have to look that up again. Okay, let me quickly do some research because I remember it wasn't that like Ei Jutsu wasn't just about like positioning and everything. There is something about the martial arts that's like it's a combative sword drawing art, but not necessarily aggressive. Yeah, it's not. It was uh wasn't it supposed to be like defensive or something? I don't recall. There was a thing about it. Uh, it's a surprise attack thing. Okay. It's a response to being attacked when you're not. It's a response to being attacked when you're not necessarily expecting it. It's not an attack to be used once it's started. Okay. It's not what I'm looking for. EI Do, I believe, is also a thing. But it's also mainly the anime thing as well. Instead of being realistic, it's also the anime thing. Yeah, that's the word. Being aware and capable of quickly drawing the sword and response to sudden attacks. Okay, right, all right. But the main thing is also it has to do with like surprise attacking when. Oh, it's not really attacking when least expecting, but attacking quickly and stuff. It's basically every samurai movie, yeah, movie basically every samurai story where they just pull the sword one strike and done. And I've been truthfully struggling to build this subclass for like years because it's such an obvious subclass to build, right? And I've been struggling for years figuring out how to build this into a fighter or a monk because those were the most obvious choices for this subclass. And it was only earlier this year, that I figured out there is actually a more suited class for the quick draw subclass because it's literally one draw and attack with a huge amount of damage and then sheath, right? The perfect subclass or the perfect class for this is actually rogue because it's one attack. It's supposed to be one attack. You quick draw, attack in the same fluid motion, and then sheath. So I think the point should be, if we want to make it thematically accurate, I say accurate, um, mechanically accurate to the theme of what we're going for, it should be sheath and or drawing, drawing and sheathing. Sheathing. There we go. Your weapon is free. There should be a better wording for this. Let me look up dual wielder. Don't think that's. Oh, it is dual wielder. There we go. You can draw or shift two weapons or stove. That's the wording. Okay. You can draw a stove, a weapon, a melee weapon. Weapon that you can wield in one hand, wield with one hand. You can draw a sheaf of melee weapon that you can wield with one hand that you are proficient. When you normal okay. So drawing or sheathing a weapon, what do you normally free action? No. Where do we find that? Because in the old version of the PHB, you would drawing weapon is part of your movement. So let's look up. Yeah, let's look up the 2024 version. Yes, playing the game actions, and then I need to find draw. Uh, okay. It's a bunch of drawbridges, which isn't what I'm looking for. Weapon. Oh, why did that scare me all of a sudden? I don't know why that suddenly freaked me out. I was like, what, what's going on? Hi, Dreamer. Thank you for the lurk. Um, all right. Where is drawing weapon? I don't see it. So, how has your day been today, Dreamer? Hope everything's been going well. You don't have to answer if you just want to lurk. You don't worry about it. Drawing the ammunition is part of your attack. Okay. Drawing ammunition is part of the attack for. So that's the wording they like to use. So that's what we're going to copy. But like, what if it's a normal weapon? What if it's just a normal weapon? Do you draw the weapon to what? Okay, let me look this up online. Drawing and stowing weapons. Is it object interaction? Really? Action utilize. You normally interact with an object while doing something else, such as when you draw a sword as part of the attack action. Really? When you wait, hold on. Did they really put this here? Influence. Okay, this is a bit weird, but Drew's glossary. Okay. Oh, that's the wrong thing. Draw. It's not showing drawing a weapon, but okay, sure. So attack is. What does it say with attack? You can either equip or unequip one weapon when you make an attack as part of this action. You do so either before or after the attack. You can either equip or unequip, so which means you can draw or stove a weapon as part of an attack. And you can do so before or after specifically. That is really weird wording because theoretically what you could do is attack with the weapon before. So what they're trying to do is you can equip the weapon and then attack, or attack and then unequip the weapon. But what this effectively becomes is you can not effectively. What you can technically do is you can attack with the weapon before equipping it. No, I don't. You're technically not supposed to do that, but like the wording's just weird. If you equip a weapon before the attack, you don't need to use it for that attack. Equipping a weapon involves drawing it or picking it up. Unsheathing a weapon includes sheathing, stowing, or dropping it. Okay. Okay, let me just pause the music because that's actually I feel like it's interrupting me when I'm talking. Let's not do music today because I definitely feel like it's interrupting me. Instead of no music, however, we are going to grab something. You're saying Visipop. I have no idea what that is. Break chatting. Yes, let's use this. Let me just check the properties, make sure it's looped, because last time I checked, it didn't loop. Last time I tried to do stuff, it didn't loop. Right, okay. What is Visipop? I have no idea what that is. Is it a content creator? If it's a content creator, then I do not watch them. It's an animator. I see. Oh, she made Hella Boss? Oh, I see. Okay. Listen, I don't consume as much content as like the average person does. I'm too busy trying to make content. Yeah, the art style looked familiar when I saw Hella Boss, and yeah, it's probably Hassan Hotel. But yeah, I don't consume the same content that everyone else does. And even when I do, I don't consume as much of it as I used to do. Okay, I guess for they change have they changed the rules? Was that always the case? Because no, because it used to be when you move, as part of your movement, you can sheath or unsheath your weapon. Now you can unsheath or sheath your weapon as part of the attack action. When you make an attack, so you wait, hold on. Unequipping, you can either you can't. It doesn't say both, so you can unsheath attack, and then if you have multi attack or sorry extra attack, you can attack again, and then at the end of that attack sheath, because it says like the action says you can either, where is it, okay, when you make an attack as part of this action, you can equip or unequip one weapon, which includes sheathing, like drawing or sheathing a weapon, which means you can, if you have two attacks as part of your attack action, you can draw attack the first time, and then the second attack you attack again and then sheath. Because it says either you can't do it both on the same attack, which means we do need to give the quick draw subclass the ability to draw, attack, and sheath. I don't know how I feel about this, because on one hand, yeah, I don't know how I feel about this. What's so funny? What is the funny thing? Uh, yeah. So you got no sound. There should be sound. Hold on. I didn't turn it on. I need to find an alternative thing for that, because hold on. Let me play it back for you, because I did hear it. There we go. Yeah. Okay. Hopefully that's a little louder, because I've upped the loudness of the desktop audio. Sorry about that, because I keep forgetting to unmute my desktop. Anyways, right, that does bring up a point for me. Give me a moment. I need to check something that I completely forgot. Okay, never mind. I'm good. I'm good. I was just checking my music because the music is supposed to be on a separate channel that I played from like the songs, so that when I grab the recording, it's not oops. Why is everything not fixed in? Yeah, when I as I was saying, if I grab the recording to edit videos and stuff, it won't there won't be copyrighted music basically. Everything is pinned down. Why is it not letting me move this without? There we go. There, the VTuber's back and not clipping into the edge. All right. Yeah. Yeah. As I was saying, I'm not sure how I feel about this thing. Uh, because the way it's worded, you can only do this with your attack action. If you bonus attack, you can't do this. If you opportunity attack, you can't do this. Any other form of attack, you can't unsheath and then attack. So I guess the wording we need to put in is anytime you make a melee weapon attack, you can draw and oh wait no. Well, first let's say the thing. When making a melee weapon attack, you can both draw and stove. Making a weapon melee attack a melee weapon that you can wield with one hand that you are proficient with, you can both draw and stove the weapon as part of the attack. Yes. You can do so anytime you would make a melee weapon attack, not just during your attack action. So bypasses this thing. Okay. And specifically stowing and drawing, not equipping and unequipping, because that's what it says, equipping and unequipping. Or we could say equipping and unequipping. When making a melee attack, you can I kind of want this specifically because it's supposed to be rogues anyways, and we do want it to be a sword. I'm gonna specify sheath because sheath is basically usually it's only a sword that has a sheath or anything with a blade. Everything else doesn't have a sheath. So I think we should specify sheath. And we also need to say you can make an attack while you have a weapon that sheath, right? When you make an attack, you can do so before or after. Okay. In that case, we don't have to. We can just say equip or unequip. Because I was thinking we had to say like you can make an attack with a sheathed weapon. Because otherwise, yeah, otherwise it would be like weird because you're making the attack action. What are you attacking with? Just unarmed strike? No, you're attacking with the weapon that you have sheathed. Either one weapon. Okay, if you equip a weapon before an attack, you don't need to use it for that attack, but you can. Okay. Never mind then. Never mind then. Um, when making a melee weapon attack, no, it's not with because it's a melee. We're making a melee attack. Yes, you can. I have to change the way this is worded. Basically, you can. No, you can both draw and sheath a melee weapon. No, can both equip and unequip a melee weapon with that can be wielded with one hand that you are proficient with as part of the attack. Well, no, too much words. Equip that okay, you can both equip and unequip a melee weapon as part of the attack, because that's the wording they use when you make an attack. When making a melee attack, you can both equip and unequip a melee weapon as part of the attack, as long as it is a weapon that can be wielded with one hand. So long as it is a weapon that you're proficient in that can be wielded with one hand. There we go. That's the wording. When making a melee attack, you can both equip and unequip a melee weapon as part of the attack. As long as it is a weapon that you're proficient in, proficient with that can be wielded with one hand. Okay. You can do so anytime you would make a melee attack, not just during your attack action. Means bonus action you can do it. Reaction opportunity attack you can do it. Right. Okay. So this is we're gonna put this to rogue. So this is one of their third level things. Cool. If you do so, I was gonna say if you do so, you can perform no opportunity attack. What am I thinking? Sneak attack. Wow, it's been so long since I touched D&D that I didn't even remember the term for it. Part of the attack. Yep, okay. That is fine. That is correct. Everything here is done. Rogue. This is this. What benefit does this give though? Because this is merely a ribbon ability at the moment. I think. Oh shoot! I hit the mic. I guess one benefit is that because the way equip is worded, you can be picking a weapon up and then throwing it down at the same time. You pick a weapon up, attack, and then throw it down. Yeah. Whereas throwing a weapon, like where's throw? I need to find throw. The throw property specifically is a little different. You can draw that weapon as part of the attack. Yeah, it's a bit different because it says draw, not equip. As in drawing it from a sheath. Yeah. It's not picking it up, but this one allows you to do that. So it's already a little mechanically beneficial, but it's not a huge benefit thing. So I'm thinking, uh, hmm. What should this allow you to do? Sneak attack immediately? Too powerful in my opinion. If just doing this allows you to sneak attack all the time, that is way too powerful. So what condition should this be in order to sneak attack? I'm not sure actually. Sneak attack with a. Oh, I keep hitting the mic because my mouse is right there. That's not great. Um. All right. Let's see. Oh, I am struggling a bit with this one. Because again, it's been a while, but it's also really simple, and the simplicity makes it hard to build around. So I don't want to step on the assassin's toes by saying if someone hasn't acted and then you attack, you can sneak attack. That's stepping on toes. That's not great. And this is kind of why I've been struggling with the quick draw subclass. The other reason is that it's so simplistic that's the whole point, right? It's supposed to be quick draw, but like quick drawing, like doing that is supposed to give you a benefit, right? But what benefit? Because I could give it sneak attack, but allowing it to sneak attack so easily is kind of busted. I guess the downside would be after doing this. Oh, babe. Huh. I was thinking. Sorry, not thinking. A thought just occurred. One of the things that the quick draw thing does usually is you quick draw and then the damage only occurs when you sheath your weapon, and then when the when the weapon closes, then the cut appears, and then the enemy takes damage. Um, what if the sneak attack damage only occurs at the end of your target's turn? So they still have time to do something, but at the end of that turn, the sneak attack damage comes in. So it's a delayed sneak attack, but the benefit is as long as you just sheath your weapon when you attack, you can sneak attack at all times, ignoring the requirement for advantage, ignoring the thing that says you can't do this, you have disadvantage, ignoring all of that. If you do this, you can add sneak attack damage. You can deal sneak attack damage to your target, but the sneak attack damage is delayed. That actually would be thematic and also okay. Yeah, no, okay, yeah. If you do so, if you attack this way, okay, with a weapon, that you could sneak attack with. Is that the proper wording? What's the new wording? Let me look up the new wording. Sneak attack, sneak attack, sneak attack. What is the new? No, assassin gets advantage. No, I need to look up an old one. What is an old one that had the thing that gives you a thing that can sneak attack more easily? Not you. Swashbuckler. Additional way you can sneak attack. Okay. I think I'm just gonna use. You can deal sneak attack damage. If you attack this way with a weapon that you can sneak attack with. With 8 now. We'll say with a finesse or range weapon. If you attack this way with a if a finesse or ranged weapon, because it's capitalized now apparently. No, weapon is not capitalized. With a finesse or ranged weapon, then you can deal sneak attack damage from your sneak attack. Damage from your sneak attack feature, I guess. Yeah, sure, we'll go with that. From your sneak attack feature to the target of your attack, ignoring all requirements. Is that the word to use? All requirements to deal that damage, I guess. Ignoring all requirements to use the feature. All requirements to use the feature. All requirements. I don't want to use the word conditions because conditions is a specific keyword, and that would be not great. That would not be great. Also, I just realized this thing is a little small for everyone to read on screen. There we go. Much bigger, much better. That should make it easier to see. I'm sorry, everyone. I was not being considerate. I had did it with the previous document, and I forgot to do it with this document as well. But yeah, I should also do a thing because this makes it more official looking. Okay, third level, quick draw. For making a melee attack, you can blah blah blah. If you attack this way with a finesse or a ranged weapon, quick draw with a ranged weapon. We specified melee weapon already. What does the thrown property say? You can throw a weapon to make a range attack. It's not a range weapon. Oh, if the weapon's a melee weapon, range weapons can have the thrown property. I guess dart. Does the dart have? It's been a while. The dart is a simple range weapon. Okay, we do want the dart to have the ability to use this as well, I guess. So you're not unsheathing your weapon. You're not unequipping it. You're throwing it. We already said melee weapon, so that immediately disqualifies those. So yeah, if you attack this way with a finesse weapon, I should honestly put down for finesse here. No. This will have its own benefit. You can do this with any weapon, but if it's a finesse weapon, then you get the extra benefit. If you attack this way with finesse weapon, meaning the draw attack with your samurai sword, sheath it, you can deal damage from your sneak attack feature. You can deal damage from it. You can activate your sneak attack feature. You can deal damage to the target of your attack with your sneak attack feature, ignoring all requirements to use said feature. However, this is it called extra damage? It is, yes. The extra damage from sneak attack does not occur until that target ends their next turn until the end of that target's next turn. The extra damage from sneak attack. Okay, you can do damage to the target of your attack. You can deal. Yeah, you can do extra damage from sneak attack. We'll just make this easy. From sneak attack to the target of your attack, ignoring all requirements to use all requirements for sneak attack. A sneak attack guy? Yes, a sneak attack guy. It's a quick draw guy. Imagine every samurai movie ever. Every anime ever too, where you basically do like the draw and then attack and then you sheath again. But the damage only occurs once the sheathing is done. So there's a delay. The enemy doesn't know they've been cut until much later. So the way this works is you can draw and you can both equip and unequip. We're using the new 2024 rules. It's easy enough to alter them to 2014 rules. So I'm using the 2024 rule set first, and then I can change it back later. But essentially, you can draw, attack, and then sheath your weapon, and any weapon. But if you do this with a finesse weapon, you can sneak attack, ignoring all requirements to use sneak attack. So you don't need advantage. You ignore disadvantage. So if normally you can't sneak attack if you have disadvantage, but this one says, screw that, sneak attack away. You have no one else around, like to help you when you're attacking that target. Doesn't matter. Just sneak attack. So it's a very easy way to guarantee sneak attack with one caveat. The damage from sneak attack does not occur until the end of the target's turn, because the target doesn't know it's been hit. Until only when it ends its turn does it go, oh, I was actually cut. Oh no, and it gets sliced in half. So the upside is that you can sneak attack always. The downside is it's slow. It's very slow. Also, my alarm went off, which signifies 7 minutes before an ad kicks in. I'm going to note down 7 minutes of 4 minutes. Because usually within 3 minutes of the ad kicking in, no. I think in 2 minutes. In 2 minutes, it's gonna pop off. And I need to remind myself because I keep getting distracted and I keep forgetting that, ads. So within 2 minutes, we're gonna have an ad. But yeah, this is going to be the first thing for the classic samurai quick draw thing. I feel, given the wording, it's actually more powerful in the 2024 version, because for the 2024 version, equip and unequip are specific words that have meaning to them. Equip both means both either drawing a weapon that has been sheathed or picking up a weapon from the table, from the floor, or something like that. And unequipping both means sheathing your weapon or dropping it. So per the wording, you could pick up a weapon from the floor, attack, and then drop it in the same action. Whereas with like 2014's version or even the new version, you would only be able to do pick up and attack, right? The benefit is if it's a finesse weapon, then you can sneak attack. Yeah. So some cool stuff there. The extra damage is nice. I do also want to. Okay, hold on. Okay, yeah, I did not specify Ooh, I did not specify it had to be if you attack this way. I did not specify it had to be an attack action. I just said if you attack this way, you can deal extra damage from sneak attack, ignoring all requirements. All requirements and all limitations, maybe. That would be interesting. A bit too powerful though if I let it be able to sneak attack on a reaction which the new one doesn't allow you to do. Uh, yeah, I'll have to think about this in a moment for a bit. But speaking of the ad, I've just been informed by Twitch that we are going to have an ad in about 30 seconds. So we're gonna have a 3 minute break just so people don't miss anything. And then once we come back, we can talk more about this. And you can also, anyone who wants to chat, who wants to talk about their day or anything, feel free to do so. If you just want to hang out, you can do so as well. Don't feel pressured to, speak. If you just want to lurk or just have me in the background, just white noise. And yeah, we're gonna have a 3 minute break. Go stretch, grab a drink, grab a snack. I will see you all in a bit. 3 minute break, everyone. See ya. All right, I am back. Turning everything back on. Hi everyone. Hope you had a nice break. I was just checking stuff out to make sure during the break. To make sure this stream doesn't go off or goes off, I should say, without a hitch. But there's not much I can do anyways because if you didn't know, last stream we had a blackout that cut off stream pretty abruptly. The thing is, the blackout occurred 2 nights in a row, and we're kind of concerned because the official report is that it is a power grid, a national power grid issue around our area. Kind of concerning because the power could still get cut off at any unfortunate moment. So, but everything I'm not gonna say anything actually. Knock on wood. Knock on wood. You know? Say nothing. Say nothing, don't jinx anything. Anyways, checking volume. Okay, I'm speaking. Everything seems to be going well. Right, okay. So, as I was saying just before this, quick draw subclass for rogue. We give them a thing that they can draw their sword and then attack and then sheath their weapon in the same turn, the way all these like samurai or any of these sword users, katana users in anime do. You draw attack and then sheath, and then when you sheath and then click your weapon shut, that's when the damage occurs. Because until then, they got hit. So that's why there is a delay in the sneak attack. The benefit is sneak attack always occurs if you do this, regardless of any prerequisites. That's the word, prerequisite. Because that's the word that D&D likes to use, prerequisite. Ignoring all prerequisites for sneak attack. You ignore all prerequisites for it. However, the damage from sneak attack specifically does not occur until the end of that target's next turn. So they still get a turn to do things and can cause a lot of damage, even if your sneak attack would have gotten them down. And who knows, in the middle of that, let's say like you go, barbarian goes, the fighter goes, and then the enemy, you might like attack them, and then the barbarian attacks them, and combined with your sneak attack, it was enough to bring them down. But then the fighter attacks and then brings him down, and your sneak attack didn't have a chance to occur. So, yeah, but that might actually be a good point. We could later on, higher tier level, at a higher level, we could do a thing where the damage from sneak attack is, how do I word this? Because my idea is, if the current HP, that's the word, if the current HP of the target is equal to or less than the sneak attack damage that you rolled, then they insta go down. So they could have, let's say, 50 hit points, right? You deal, let's say you deal 25, 20 of which was sneak attack, right? So in total, you technically have done 5 damage this turn. So they are on 45 hit points. And then next turn, fighter does like 10 damage, and then barbarian does 15 damage, right? That brings them down to 20 HP, which is equal to 20 sneak attack damage, which now equals 0. So you don't have to wait until the end of their turn to take the damage. If your sneak attack damage would bring them down, combined with everything else, then they will instantly go down. But this was to be a higher tier ability because otherwise it will completely negate the stall thing. Right. If the target, if at any point the target's hit points, current hit points are equal to or less than your sneak attack, the extra damage from your delayed sneak attack. I would say delayed sneak attack. Well, less than the delayed extra damage from your sneak attack. The that target instantly drops to 0 hit points. There we go. I do need to note that you have to roll sneak attack. You can deal sneak attack, yes. Yeah. Roll. You can deal extra sneak attack damage. Roll your sneak attack damage and note it down. This X and note it. This has to probably go down here. Know your sneak attack damage on the same turn as your attack and note it down. There we go. So damage has already been rolled, it just hasn't occurred. I wouldn't say instantly drops. I should say the damage occurs, I guess, because resistance and stuff could kick in. Yeah, it's not supposed to be dropped. Damage still occurs. At any point, the current hit points are equal or less than the delayed extra damage from your sneak attack. That damage occurs instantly. It is still damage. Resistance still triggers. Any effects that happen as a result of damage still triggers, so they could still survive it, right? And it's a very much like a target's like, you thought you killed me, but this was my trump card. I'm resistant to damage and stuff, and they don't go down the moment you thought they go down. It could be an epic moment thing. Yeah, okay, yeah, that works. I think this should be. Ooh. What level is Rogue's thing again? 17. 17th ability to insta someone go down. If it was a 17th level ability, I wouldn't say damage. I would actually just say they dropped to 0. Because it's a level 17 ability. Rogue level 17 abilities are quite powerful. Like Thief gets 2 turns. Assassin gets ton of damage, right? Yeah, the new one is ton of damage. The old one, yeah, no, the old one was still double damage. Yeah, yeah. And then the Arcane Trickster is steal someone's spell, which is really powerful. Soul Knife, the new one is Wisdom save, stun people. Right. Which is also quite good. Yeah. If we put this at 17, I propose drop to 0 instead of damage occurs instantly. That being said, if they don't immediately go down when the damage occurs, if you manage to take your turn again and you hit them, then sneak attack can actually occur instantly. Because if they are like, let's say they're at like 20 hit points and you deal the same 25 damage, 20 of which is sneak attack. That, because sneak attack damage, or rather HP equal damage now, basically equals sneak attack damage, then it triggers immediately, and it just becomes regular sneak attack, which means at a certain threshold, your sneak attack occurs instantly as an insta-death. It's an insta-death move, with the only exception being if they somehow resist it. Okay. Damage occurs instantly. Yeah, that's fine. Though I... Okay, let me just put down both, and then we'll see how I feel. Their HP... Their hit points, HP, instantly drop to 0. Or they instantly drop to 0 hit points. Yeah. This is definitely stronger, way stronger. But I'll see how I feel about it. 17th level, basically. Right, and then we have one more third level thing to give them. And then we have Rogue. It's been a while since I designed stuff for Rogue. I don't remember all the levels. 7th? And then there was one more level here, 10th? I don't recall. No, it's not 10th. The 13th, it was, okay, my head was 13, I didn't say. 9th and 13th, right, okay. Right, yeah, okay, they spread out quite a bit, the level thing, okay. Because Rogue gets a ton of stuff in between, it's 3 and then to 9, yeah. They get a ton of things in between. Right, okay. Okay. In that case, we have 3 things to work with. One thing I think they should have is, because it's the second, third level ability. The second one is always, I want to say, it's usually like proficiency or a different thing. I'm thinking because samurai, or that's where we're drawing inspiration from. We What weapons do rogues have proficiency in? Martial weapons have the finesse or light property. Oh, the new one is actually quite good. Right, because I think what I want to do is, you have pro. Okay, no, you any long sword you wield is considered to have the finesse property. Just cause. And then because it's a martial weapon that has the finesse property, while wielding it, you have proficiency. That's a very quick and easy way of just giving you proficiency without saying you have proficiency. Just say any, yeah, and also it just gives finesse, which now allows you to sneak attack with it. Because we all know Well, I wouldn't say all katanas because katanas are actually a very broad group of weapons. It's not just long swords. It can be a little shorter than usual. It can be longer than usual. There is like a katana that is huge, which is essentially a Zweihander, and it's designed to attack cavalry. It's designed to fight horses. It's a horse cleaving sword. It's humongous, and if you've seen videos of people wielding them, it is such a beautiful art. It really is an art form to wield it. Um, so like katanas come in all tiers. You could technically argue that because of that, great swords could fall into that category. But I'm just gonna put longsword because the general consent, not consensus, the general idea in like the average like zeitgeist of the kind of like, what's the word, the mental image that everyone has of a katana is a longsword. Basically, the length and everything is a longsword. So we'll say any longsword you wield, just cause. Yeah, it's considered the finesse property. Um, right. However, is this enough though? Hmm. Hmm. I'm thinking I want to give them a slight AC boost. So, uh, reaction, you can cut. No, reaction whenever you take damage. Oh no, but they already have. No, no, no. They already have cunning action. They already have cunning action to half damage, which is essentially what I was thinking. Was that with your katana sheath, someone shoots a bullet at you, and then they draw it to cut the bullet or something like that. And they already have that. And you can just flavor it as that. So yeah, no, they don't need that. I guess we just leave it at that. Honestly, consider to have the finesse property. Anything else they need? Oh right, the new mastery stuff. Longsword sap. Disadvantage. Okay, let's look at all the stuff. Club is slow. Reduce speed. Okay. Nick. Nick with a dagger gives you. Hold on. When you make the extra attack, you can make it as part of the attack action. Oh right. Okay. Cool. Weird that it's called Nick. I thought it would bleed, but okay. Push. Vex. No. Slow. Nick. Sap. Topple. No, don't think topple works here. Slow. Do we want to give them one of these? Nick? I don't think so. Slow, maybe? No, no, doesn't quite work. Doesn't quite work. Longsword already saps. I think that's fine. It's a more protective thing, anyways, which I don't mind. Yeah, I don't think rogues will naturally get sap, anyways. Because all the weapons rogues want to use don't have sap, right? Like mace is not a weapon rogues can use. Spear is definitely not a weapon they can use. Flail definitely no. Longsword they normally can't use that. Morningstar definitely no. Warpick no. Yeah, we're essentially giving the rogues a sap weapon, which is pretty good actually. Gives them more defensive capability. Yeah, okay. So we don't need to. Oh, actually, that reminds me. I was gonna say that we don't need to let it. We don't need to let rogues. Uh, how do I say this? We don't need to let rogues something. Oh yeah, we don't need to add a thing to make rogues more defensive. Rogues already have more defensive things now. Okay. Yeah. That does remind me that rogues now have a list of things to get like mastery over. You get 2 weapons to get mastery over. We should add that in. The longsword you will consider to have the finesse property. You I need the wording for this. And you can use the master property. Is that the word I want to use? Maybe. You can you can use the mastery property of any longsword you are wielding. Maybe I have to change the wording, but essentially what this is that certain homebrew items or magic longswords might have different mastery properties. Uh, yeah. Maybe not your wielding. You can use the mastery properties of longswords. I guess that's the way to do it. Where is the thing? Oh no, I want to look at rogue. Use the mastery properties. Yeah, okay. Any longsword you wield is considered the finesse property, and you can use its mastery property. There we go. Nice and short and quick. And to the point. And I'm missing my mouse cursor. Why can't I see my mouse cursor? It's still there, but my mouse cursor is gone. That's not great. Okay, it's back. It vanished on me for a moment. What? Playing hide and seek? Another time for hide and seek. I'm building a subclass. Mouse. I'm not a cat. I'm a cat person. I'm not a cat. Mouse really just went hide and seek on me. All right. Let's do 9. So, the other thing while I was taking a break that occurred to me for this type of character usually is that they have the ability to draw an attack, but as they do so, they also zip across the battlefield, and then on the other side, they're sheathing their weapon as like after that. So we can say before or after the attack, they can teleport. Before or after? What does after allow you to do? In front of them, then you teleport a distance away. Okay, cool. Before allows you to teleport up to your target and then attack. Okay, sure. Right, we can do that. When making a melee attack, using your quick draw feature, you can teleport a number of feet. You can teleport up to We're not gonna say 30 feet because this is a every turn you can do this whenever you make a melee attack with your quick draw feature, which would include reaction if you opportunity attack. Okay, okay, that is a bit dangerous. You can, yeah, you can teleport up to 10 feet. Uh, you can choose to. Oh, you can choose to teleport up 10 feet. Doing so before or after the attack. Okay. You can choose to teleport up to 10 feet, doing so before or after the attack. Yeah, okay. That works. That works. Okay. Sure. Cool. Level 13. I was thinking up. I was originally thinking opportunity attacks also get sneak attack, but that will be a very 2024 centric feature because 2024 is the only one between 2014 and 2024. The 2024 rogue is the only one that cannot sneak attack as a opportunity attack. You can only sneak attack as an action on your turn. Correct? Hold on. Once per turn, oh wait, hold on. What? Once per turn, you can deal extra damage. You don't need advantage. It doesn't say. Wait, why did. No, no, no. Hold on. This is just the. But it doesn't say on your turn or with the attack action. Yeah. So you. It just says once per turn. It doesn't say because previously hold on, I need to read this again because I recall one of the complaints, well, I say complaints, one of the things that people were talking about was that the 2024 row can no longer sneak attack on an opportunity attack because there was either a wording that says on your turn you sneak attack or once on your turn, or it was during the attack action you can sneak attack. And opportunity attack is not the attack action. So let's read this. You know how to subtly exploit. Doesn't matter. Once per turn. This doesn't prevent you from sneak attacking on an opportunity attack. You can do extra damage to one creature you hit with an attack roll. It's an attack roll. It doesn't say attack action. If you have advantage on the roll and the attack uses a specific weapon, the extra damage is the same as the weapon type. None of this prevents you from sneak attacking on an opportunity attack. Okay? You don't need advantage if at least one ally is within range. The ally doesn't have the incapacitate condition, and you don't have disadvantage. This is the new wording because the old wording doesn't say ally. The old wording says if another enemy of the target. Because in the old wording, so I'm going to visualize this for people who don't understand because the old wording can be a bit confusing because of the way it's worded. But in the 20 Let's put down 2014 Rogue, 2024 Rogue. We'll put this as like darker blue. Right. Sure. Darker blue. Actually, hold on. That's hard to see. 2024 Rogue. Right. For the old Rogue, in order to attack someone, let's say this is your enemy you're attacking. Let's say this is you. Yeah. So you are attacking this red fella, and you want sneak attack, but you don't have advantage. For the old version, as long as there was someone else next to your target that was threatening your target, you could sneak attack. Right? So let me visualize that. So let's say you're trying to attack, right? If this person was attacking also, was threatening them, you could sneak attack. Right? This person doesn't have to be your friend. This person could even be your enemy. But as long as they were also, as long as it was just the enemy of your target, as long as they were threatening your target, you can sneak attack. It doesn't matter who they are. You can have a complete three-way fight, and you can still use the fact that they are both enemies to your advantage. That was the 2024 rule. But apparently, the wording was too complicated for people. So in the new wording, it says allies. And allies means you need an ally. So if this is you, right, you need an ally. So let's put down like a plus symbol to indicate allyship. And then you are attacking. They don't have to be threatening this. As long as an ally is next to them, then sneak attack can happen. But if it is this old like situation, right? And let's move this to this side. If it's this old situation where you are next to them, you are attacking them, you need someone to threaten them, and there is a enemy of your target, even if that enemy would threaten them, right? Doesn't matter if they threaten you or not. That doesn't matter. You cannot sneak attack because they were not your ally. Because they were not your ally, you cannot sneak attack, even if they were threatening your target. It has to be an ally. Which kind of sucks, honestly. Yeah, I'll put this here, just make it a little easier for people to see. Yeah, it kind of sucks. It's kind of a bummer because this one encapsulates the role, right? Even in a three-way fight, you can find an opportunity to sneak attack, and you can utilize your foes' hatred for each other against them. And it was the quintessential sneak attacking rogue. This feels like a video game rogue. Very specific circumstance, only activates when allies, specifically allies. It's like so video gamey. And it's one of the problems I have with the 2024 edition stuff. Like, I like some of the changes, and we will go into more of this when I finally move into the office, which is going to happen within like the next month or so. But one of the problems, I like a lot of the changes. I like a lot of the changes to the classes and the subclasses, but there are just some things I do not agree with as a whole, both for the subclasses and the classes, as well as just system wise. And this is one of the big things. It feels like they're video gaming. They're turning it into a video game, or they're gamifying it basically. And it just it's losing a lot of character because of that. But yeah, so that's how I know this is still the actual 2024 wording, because it says allies. It doesn't say what it previously stated, which is another enemy of the target. Which means either there was a what's the word? Alteration, which is a thing. They push out like updates and stuff from time to time. Errata. There could have been an errata I was not aware of that changed it. Because like this is the old wording for the 2024 version of the rogue, but this looks like it has changed. It's either once per turn that has been changed, or when you hit with an attack action or using like one of the attack action wording isn't here, because based on this wording you can actually sneak attack with an opportunity attack. Let me look it up actually. Okay, yeah, let me look it up. Let me not look up the errata. Let me just look up the old, not the old rogue, the 2024 rogue. Right, let's see. You know, once per turn. Nothing has changed. Yeah, nothing has changed. So why was it going around the internet the whole time, and why did I read this with Cheesecake, who isn't here, but like I remember reading this with Cheesecake, and we both went, it actually cannot sneak attack multiple times per round now. Once per turn. Yeah, everything says once per turn. Nothing is preventing you. Yeah. Nothing is preventing you from sneak attacking multiple times. You can sneak attack on an opportunity attack. I don't see anything that says you can't. Interesting. Very interesting. So level 13 needs to be something else, because I thought I could add that in, but apparently not. We need something else for level 13. What it is, I don't know actually. What we're gonna do for level 13? Uh, two, no. I was gonna say two attacks, but no. A way to increase damage. I feel level 17 is kind of, no, it doesn't increase damage. But increasing damage would benefit level 17. What do we do? something here, maybe? You do extra damage with sneak attack to your target, ignoring prerequisites. Maybe we change it to they take damage at the start of their turn? Hmm. Start of their turn. No. No. Needs to be something else. What else are they known for? Being able to cut anything? Uh, Sneak attack ignores resistance? Sneak attack damage ignores resistance. Because it's already delayed, right? Sneak attack damage ignores resistance. We could go for that. Could actually go for that, yeah. Um the extra damage from your, or we could go easier to crit. One other thing we could go for, when you attack using your quick draw, you the thing is the 2024 version doesn't really, as a whole, they don't emphasize critting as a thing. Like there's less what's the word? There's less bonuses to crit. So they used to be, for example, the barbarian, when you crit you do extra die damage. That's no longer the case. At least from what I recall, that's no longer the case. There's less emphasis on crit fishing, basically. So I don't know if I want to do that, but we could do that because it's a level 13 thing, right? We could do that and the extra damage thing. Yeah. Um, when attacking with your quick draw feature, you steal the feature from the champion of fighter. You score a critical hit on a roll on 19 and 20 on a d20. Furthermore, the extra damage from your sneak attack ignores resistance to its damage type. There. Okay, that's pretty good. Right. Let me zoom back out so we can look at this as a whole. Okay, that's not bad. Hmm. All right. Curved swords, I guess, if you want to call this something. Wow, the air is quite dry. I actually feel, okay, this is not great. I feel a nosebleed coming, but I've never had a nosebleed before, so I'm keen to prevent that from happening. Let me just. It's not so much a nosebleed. My nose just feels dry because the air is just hot, and but it's hot and humid, so I don't get it. Hold up. I may drink some water. Mm. Yeah, water in my mouth. Ah, tasty. Right. Okay, so curved sword, making a melee attack with your quick draw, which is teleport. We can call this quick step. Yep. When attacking with your quick draw feature, we can actually use this wording much better. Or no. The new way of writing that is better. You score a critical hit. This one critical hit. It should be unnaturally sharp blade, sharp strike, I guess. And then the final one is you are already dead. There. Yeah. I'm not sure which of these two I want to take. I'll leave them in and then figure that out when I properly polish this up because we still need like the description and everything, and I need like to make the wording, but also the font and everything, and the background look like a proper thing. But hey, this subclass has been kind of a thorn in my side for a while because I've never really been able to properly figure out how to build it. Glad that I finally have it out on paper at least. Yeah, that's good. I can move on to something else, or at least now I have a template for it if I ever revisit it to come up with another idea. So that's cool. Ugh. Right. Let's move on. Let's see what else. What else do I want to build? Honestly, there isn't too much. Um, Rage. For some reason, I'm kind of lazy to build Rage Mage because Rage Mage is a lot. I want to build like a Rage Mage, which is, for those of you who don't know, this was an old third edition, not even a heritage, sorry, prestige class that requires a ton of different things working together for it to properly function. Um, but it was essentially a magic class that, due to shenanigans, were able to get to essentially infinite strength. And through getting to infinite strength, they could one shot everything because you have infinite strength. It doesn't matter. Your unarmed strike can be weak as all heck, and one punch can do one damage, but you add strength to the modifier. You add strength to hit, so you could be completely untrained in it, right? Even if you have negative modifiers for some reason, you hit and it's still plus infinite, and plus infinite still hits. Deal damage, sure, 1 plus infinity. It doesn't matter how much health you have. If you can bleed, you're going down. So that's what the rage mage was. But the old rage mage was not. You can't build it in fifth edition because the way the old rage mage functioned, and I'm going to have to draw this. The way the old rage mage functioned was you needed two things. There were a bunch of other things you needed, but essentially you needed to multi-class and get feats and stats and everything in order to get first a specific mage class, mage subclass. I do not recall the name. Plague something, I think. It was plague something. Also, 9 minutes until ads. So I'm just gonna note down on my alarm clock here. 6 minutes. So that I have I have like a few seconds to spare. Right. Um, I think it was like plague holder or something. I do not recall. But this class allows you to um hold not hold ignore the downsides of a disease. So essentially, it one of the benefit was that you can't get sick, right? So no matter what the sickness did to you, you couldn't get sick. Sickness, like does like for example, if it lowers your cognition because you're sick, no, it doesn't. If it lowers your speed for some reason, no, it doesn't. If it kills you, no, it doesn't. So you ignore all of that. What is the point of this? Well, in one of the supplements, there existed a bunch of diseases that were magical diseases. Specifically, I think they were like the demon diseases or something. And one of the disease has all of them basically had a benefit and a downside. So one of the disease I think was like the rage fever or something. I can't remember the name, but what it did was it +2 to your strength and then -2 to your dex for every day you had it. So if you had the disease for 30 days, you get 60 strength, but -60 dex. And that would actually be very bad because there is a table for what would happen when you get to negative like stats. And what happens is if you keep having this, you keep growing like growths, like cancerous growths all over your body because you keep growing muscle, like that muscular from a My Hero, and you keep growing muscle and more muscle. But it got to the point where eventually you get so much muscle that you can't move and you just die because you couldn't move. Your muscle mass stopped you from moving because you had too much muscle. Um, but that was considered a negative effect. The extra strength was the positive effect. With the plague, whatever it was called, you now ignore this, right? You ignore this. And as long as you were angry, you could keep the disease on you. The disease couldn't be cured as long as you were angry, right? So you could just find character reasons to keep yourself with being angry. And while doing so, every day, you just keep getting +2 strength every day. Every day. And this stacked at infinitum. Or how would you want to pronounce that? So the longer you had this disease, the more strength you have. But keep in mind, this subclass was primarily a magic one. And you needed like a level or two in Rogue to do like prestige class into this. But beyond that, everything else was magic. I believe Sorcerer was one of the things you needed to get. But yeah, it was a purely a magic-based class. But the moment you get this disease, after enough time had passed, you essentially become muscle wizard. You get so much strength that you can just punch anything and it would go down. Yeah. So this is the class, and this is why it's impossible to replicate in D&D 5th edition, because you need both the class and the disease, and we do not have either of them. Anyways, we have 25 seconds until the next ad break. We are going to take a moment to rest up. So again, go grab snacks, go grab a drink. I will see you all in 10 seconds. Sorry, in 3 minutes. Not 10 seconds. 10 seconds until the ad break. I'll see you all in 3 minutes. Hopefully, I'll figure out what to do next. But yeah, see you all in a bit. Hi everyone, hello. Welcome back from the break. Okay, quick check to make sure everything's working. Everything is working, yay. Okay, all right. I did a bit of contemplating on what to do, uh, what to build next. Again, we can't build the Rage Mage. I still need to further try and figure out how to build it. Probably like a sorcerer or something. or maybe make it a barbarian that can. No. It doesn't feel quite right, but I'll figure something out. But until then, I actually figured out what we can build because it doesn't have to be subclasses. Sorry, gas. Because I had drank like a soft drink. If you heard that. What I want to build actually, because I was thinking about this, and I had an idea to build some magical weapons and stuff. Um, and there's been like a pair of weapons I've been wanting to build for a while. Uh, they don't have names as far as I can tell, but if anyone has seen the Hellboy 2 movie, I don't think there's an old or new one. It's just one Hellboy 2, the Golden Army. The elf prince, he has a sword and spear, and they were so cool, especially the spear. I love the spear so much back in the day. Even now I still like it. It's tilted for me. I previously liked the spear more than the sword. It's now gone to like the sword more than the spear because I like the aesthetic of the sword more. But yeah, I love those weapons, and I've been wanting ever since I got into D&D. I've been wanting to build them as weapons. So this might be a good opportunity to do so because I don't know why I've never built them. I've never considered building them for some reason. Um, like I said, I love those weapons. They're awesome, except for the spear's ability to break off its head and use as like a slowly sinking point to kill someone. I always thought that was really cowardly, and I don't like it. I did not like it, so I don't think I want to put that in it because I feel like players could also abuse that. So we're not gonna put that in, but um, yeah, I think I'm going to build those. So first off, I don't know what we're gonna call these things, but like blade. It was like na Nadia? No, I forgot what the prince name was, but just called an Elven blade for now as like a nickname, and then Elven spear. I have some ideas about these. So first off, plus one weapon because the Elven make their mastercraft weapons, of course, plus one. Um, for the spear, able to increase length and thus reach by up to 10 feet. Sure, make it quite a long reaching spear. What benefit would you have in short mode? Short mode could have light, I guess. While I guess no, we'll give distinctive modes. Has three modes. Each with their own benefits. Right. Okay. Short mode, medium mode, long mode. Long man. There's everyone who knows that. Right. The short mode will give it the light property, finesse, light and finesse. Yes. Medium will be versatile. And what is Spear's normal thing? Spear has thrown. Right. Okay. We'll give it We'll give it thrown. 2060. Versatile 1d8. Sure. And then long mode will be reach. But we won't give it heavy because I don't think it should have heavy. Yeah, and I don't want it to have heavy. We'll give it versatile 1d10. Yeah. Yeah, I think that worked quite well. Long needs 2 hands to wield. No, it's really versatile. Does it need that reach? Yeah, long mode you can't throw it because how would you throw it? Really? Like it's so long, it's like not good to throw. Light, the short mode, handle is too long to really throw properly, but you could still throw it. It's just not designed to be thrown. Yeah. So what I could do is this becomes the 90, essentially a javelin, and then short mode is throwable, but it is not that far. It's a dagger. Short mode is basically a dagger, but does 1d6 damage. Medium mode is a versatile javelin, basically. So stronger than a spear, stronger than a javelin. And then long mode is essentially a versatile like halberd that instead of two-handed is versatile and doesn't have heavy. Yeah, let's go with that. Elven blade. So the Elven blade in Hellboy 2 did not have any special properties. It was a spear that had all the love given to it. But I love the sword, and the sword seems to be really throwable. So we're gonna give it a thrown property. The short sword. We'll call this a spear. Short sword. Call it a short sword. Has the thrown. We'll go 3090 on this. No, it's a short sword. We'll go 2060. The thrown property. And then I want to say when or as a bonus action, when thrown or as a bonus action can become dancing weapon. Essentially, you can bonus action dancing weapon it. Yeah. And then what you can just have it dance back into your hand. So you can also return it by throwing it and then bonus action dancing weapon and have it come back to you. Yeah. I think that's pretty cool. They don't really work well. They work decently well, actually. This one's a weapon in your hand that's permanently versatile. This one's a weapon that essentially allows you a secondary attack. As a bonus action, you can attack with it. What does a light property do now, actually? That does bring up a thing. You can make one extra attack as a bonus action on the same turn. And then what does Nick say? When you make the extra attack of the light property, right. Okay. Uh, sure. All right. Yeah. No, this is fine. I was thinking like has the throne when thrown or as a bonus action when thrown uh making an attack with the light or using the light property or as a bonus action can become dancing weapon. Okay. Yeah, 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 yeah. That works quite well. Okay. I don't think there was any other weapons they showed. The Golden Army probably has its own stat somewhere. Someone definitely would have made it. The spear has like a poison mode that I really am not a fan of, so let's not do that. Let's see. What else was there? I don't think there was anything else. Um. Oh, prop master properties. Now we'll just give them their like slow sap and then cleave. Cleave. No, not cleave. Topple. Sure. Uh, slow, slow, sap, topple. Right. It's a short sword, so and it already has nick, so it doesn't need any of that. Mm-hmm. All right. Yeah, I think these work quite well. Okay. I can't really think of any other weapon to build. And to be completely honest, I am kind of tired because, uh, as always, I have no idea why the upstairs neighbors are constantly drilling and working in the apartment. It's been like 4 months and they haven't stopped drilling. But I got woken up really early this morning and I haven't been able to fall back to sleep. I'm operating on 3 hours of sleep right now and it's not fun. So I've kind of gotten everything I wanted to make out of the way for now. Um, and for me, it's a bit of a slow day anyway. So I think this is a decent place to end the stream. Tomorrow, I'm actually thinking of doing a Minecraft stream, so we'll be able to actually go longer because I want to build stuff in Minecraft, and it's gonna take a while as I just plow along. And yeah, we're gonna. There's a lot of things we're gonna do in Minecraft. I'm thinking of yeah. Tomorrow, I'm thinking of streaming Minecraft instead of anything else. Um, so yeah, I'm going to end the stream here today. In that case, let me look for someone to raid. Yeah, let's look around. Matara is on, but I don't think Matara is. Yeah, I don't think Matara allows raiding. I can check because I don't think I've ever raided Matara, so I don't know. Oh, she does allow raiding. All right, since you're just chatting, we can raid in. But yeah, sorry for the short stream today. We are. I promise we're gonna have a longer stream tomorrow. Just I am tired and I've really just done everything I kind of wanted to do today. Gone back into the groove of homebrewing a bit. We'll get more done next time when I actually have a more concrete plan on what to homebrew. Next D&D is gonna be more space stuff because I want to get back to that. But yeah, thank you everyone for being here. We're gonna end the stream here today. Have a good day, good night wherever you are. Stay safe. I will see you all tomorrow. Thank you for being here, everyone. Bye bye. Take care, everyone. Bye. Again, thank you so much for being here.